at 10 a.m. second floor courthouse of the U.S. County Courtroom, Steamboat, Texas, in order to consider the following agenda item for discussion and possible action. Let's start with, I'll ask my buddy Ryan Hurt to open us up in prayer, and then we'll say the pledge.
Let's pray. God, we love you so much, and I thank you for who you are. God, I thank you that no matter what's going on in our crazy world today, Lord, we know that you're always and forever in control, and you have everything in the palm of your hands. And so I thank you for that, Lord. God, I just want to pray in 2 Chronicles 7:14 over us this morning. You tell us in your word where we humble ourselves and seek your face, that you'll heal our land. And so, God, that's our prayer this morning, that we can continue to be a people that we're God, seeking you and believing that you have all of this in your control, in your hand, Lord. So we just ask you to come and do what only you can do, Lord. Heal our nation, heal our world. But I pray for our leaders of this county, this place, Lord, that you put in place, Lord. We ask that your sovereign hand be over them and their decisions. God, dealing with people can be extremely, extremely hard. And so we just ask that you give them the right decisions to make, Lord. You give them the boldness, the confidence, the wisdom to make all the right decisions, Lord, to protect your people. And as we move this thing forward, Lord, let us just continue to trust you in everything that we say and do, Lord. I'm so thankful for the community that I live in. I'm so thankful for this county. I'm so thankful for these leaders, Lord. I know that this is not an easy job. So I just continue to pray that you strengthen them and give them wisdom in these very, very tough days. And whatever we consider today, Lord. And God, no matter what's going on in our world, Lord, I just want to say how much I love you and thank you for who you are. Thank you for the cross. Thank you for Jesus. God, we love you. Thank you and praise you for everything. In Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Thank you, man. Don't go me in pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Agenda item number 1 is to discuss and or approve continuation or amendment of the declaration of public health emergency related to COVID-19. Just a couple of days ago, our governor issued his executive order, which I want to stress his order trumps anything. Trump might not be a good word. His order supersedes any order that any county sets forward unless we go stricter than the governor allows. We had a few questions. Some of ours is a little different than the governor's declaration. One thing that I want to stress is Governor Abbott put 30 days on his declaration for shelter in place. We've got to abide by that. But in saying that, I really want to stress that we're looking at this thing daily. It's so fluid and it changes so fast. We're looking at this daily. We were really talking about extending this 7 days, but we can't because our governor said it for 30 days. The only options we have are to set that 30 days and keep our daily watch on this and pretty much hourly. Our emergency management coordinators staying on top of this, and if we see any change, we're going to be calling the governor to see if this thing's already peaked out. We're going to see if we can cut that back to 30 days. 30 days is brutal, but at some point we've got to put a stop to this. Shelter in place, I don't think we've done it yet. We don't want to set these rules any harder then y'all want to abide by, but this is where we're at now to a plea, really. Stay home. You don't need to go to town and get that scratch off. You don't need to run to town just to see how many shelves are empty at Walmart. Stay home. Let's stop the spread. This thing's like a bad Facebook rumor. We can let it keep on building and get that 500 likes. Or we can stop the spread of this thing. And what it's going to take is people staying home. Our little saying at our county barn is keep your circle tight. Stay in unless you just actually got to get out. That's what's bringing all these declarations on. Who would have ever thought the Center for Disease Control would have had to tell grown people to wash their hands? I mean, it's things like that. It's common sense. We need to abide by that, and we need to make it happen to stop this thing. Now, before we start into this declaration, I'd like for Susan Driscoll, our County Emergency Management Coordinator, to give us some numbers, some statistics on this. Now, and I'll even start my disclaimer before this. We can look on any channel on the news and we can get any kind of idea or any kind of take this and it'll cure the COVID-19. There's all kinds of myths. There's all kinds of things out there that can slow this down, but I think the only one knows for sure is the creator of this universe, and he's probably wondering when we're going to get it. But there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of good things out there, but we've got no facts, nothing to back these up. So Susan's going to give us some numbers of just how fast this thing has spread and caught on just in the last week. So Susan, there you go.
Yes. On 3/25 was the last time that we met here. At that time, we had 974 deaths in Texas. Yesterday, we had 3,266. That's an increase of 235% in 6 days. Deaths statewide, we had 12 on 3/25. Deaths as of yesterday, we had 41, which is an increase of 242%. The counties that were reporting cases on the 25th was 82. The counties that were reporting yesterday, 122. That's 49%. Testing a week ago, they only tested 13,000 people. As of yesterday, it was 42,992, which is an increase of 231%. So we're going up. We're on that up curve. In Erath County specifically, we had 1 on the 25th. As of today, we have 5. So that's a 400% increase. As you can see, we haven't met that where we're on downhill. We just around our county, Crawford County is reporting 4. California County is not reporting any. Eastland County is reporting 4. This is yesterday's data. It could have changed, but it's not, I don't know. Hood County is reporting 6. We're reporting 5. Manatee is reporting 2. And Hamilton and Foxy are not reporting, and Somerville are not reporting. So, it's around us as well, and beyond that, of course, the numbers are way higher.
Susan, do you have how many counties a week ago versus today?
Yeah, it was 82 a week ago and 122 as of last time. So that's a 49% increase in 6 days. Now, I have a couple of just hospital statistics. We have about 34 beds available in our hospital as of yesterday, and somewhere between 5 and 7 beds available. Now, our cases so far in this county have not required hospitalization. So, but we have to prepare for that. So we're continually preparing for that, with the hospital and, other resources that we can get. There was and there's just an unknown with this, unlike the flu, that they know what they're dealing with and they have a vaccine for this virus. They don't know about it. They don't know how it's going to react. They don't have a vaccine. They don't have a pill you can take. And the only recommendations that they can give you are, like they were saying, sorry, I'm trying to get all my papers here, to prevent, wash your hands with soap and water, use hand sanitizer as a backup, cover coughs and sneezes, and avoid touching your face, disinfect oftenly touched surfaces, and then also the distancing, avoid close contact. And these are recommendations from the centers, CDC and the health department here in Texas. And they're saying how to avoid the spread, the current understanding on how to avoid the spread of this disease. The virus is thought to spread mainly person to person. So at first it was travel, now we're in community spread in the United States. The virus is thought to spread mainly from person to person between people who are in close contact with one another within 6 feet, via respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouth or nose of people who are nearby or possibly inhaled into the lungs. People are thought mostly contagious when they are most symptomatic, the sickest one. So they're the most contagious when they're the sickest. Some spread might be possible before people show symptoms, and there have been reports of this with this new coronavirus. That this is not thought to be the main way the virus spreads. So that is our only choice, is to try to stop the spread of this. And the governor has set in place guidelines through April the 30th, and that's what we're doing today, is to set as a count. So the numbers are there. We're not at this curve that they keep talking about. We're on the uphill. So.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Susan? Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to start reading this declaration. And if you have any questions, concerns, or anything you want to look at to change, just stop me while I'm reading this. I'm going to get through this when we can. County Geographic Reporter declaring local state of emergency due to public health emergency. Whereas the novel coronavirus, now designated SARS-CoV-2, which causes the disease COVID-19, has been declared a global pandemic by the World Health Organization. And whereas the symptoms of COVID-19 can range from mild to severe illness and cause further complications, including death. And whereas COVID-19 virus mainly spreads between people who are in close contact with one another through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. And whereas President Donald Trump declared a state of national emergency for the United States of America on March 13, 2020. And whereas on March 13, 2020, the governor of the state of Texas issued a proclamation certifying that COVID-19 poses an imminent threat of disaster in the state and declaring a state of disaster for all counties in Texas. And on March 13, 2020, the governor renewed and extended the statewide disaster declaration. And whereas on March 25th, 2020, Erath County Judge Alfonso Campos issued a declaration of local state of disaster due to public health emergency, and Erath County is taking extraordinary measures to prevent the spread of potentially devastating disease in our community. Whereas said state of disaster requires that certain emergency protective measures be taken pursuant to the Texas Disaster Act of 1975 relating to emergency management and public health pursuant to Chapter 418 of the Texas Government Code. Now therefore be it declared by Erath County Judge of Erath County, Texas, that the March 25th declaration of local state of disaster due to public health emergency is hereby expired. An order of Erath County Commissioner Court takes effect 11:59 on April.
We're gonna change that.
Yes, we're going to change the day to match the governor's declaration, which will be
April 2nd. April 2nd.
midnight
April 2nd.
tomorrow night, correct?
Midnight tonight.
Excuse me.
12:01 a.m. on April 2nd.
Okay, 12:01 a.m., April 2nd. That is the same as the date of the start of Governor Abbott's declaration. Any questions up to now? Okay, number one, all individuals currently living within Erath County, Texas are ordered to shelter or stay at their place of residence. For purposes of this order, residences include hotels, motels, shared rentals, and similar facilities. To the extent individuals are using shared or outdoor spaces, they must at all times, as reasonably as possible, maintain social distancing of at least 6 feet from any other person when they are outside of their residence. All persons may leave their residence only for essential activities and essential travel, to work in essential businesses, governmental services, or essential critical infrastructure, or to perform minimal basic operations as defined below. Number two, all businesses shall comply with the social distancing guidelines attached, including maintaining 6 feet social distancing for both employees and the general public. The business may take other precautions, including wearing protective equipment, rotating shifts. If distancing is not achievable in the workplace, all businesses are ordered to take extreme care and action necessary to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Extreme care and action include, but is not limited to, the following practices. Prior to opening for business and throughout the day, disinfecting all surfaces. Encouraging all employees to wash their hands on an hourly basis. Mandate that all employees and customers abide by the social distancing guideline attached. Where no automatic door is present, at least one door allowing entry for the customer shall remain permanently open during business hours. All businesses must provide hand sanitizing stations at least one entrance. And all employees whose job functions permit them to work within the confines of their own home to do so. Number three, all public or private gatherings of any number of people occurring outside a single household or living unit are prohibited, except as otherwise provided herein. Nothing in this order prohibits the gathering of members of a household or a living unit. Restaurants with or without drive-in or drive-through services and microbreweries, microdistilleries, bars, or wineries may only provide takeout, delivery, or drive-through services as allowed by law. No dine-in services allowed. All personal service businesses or one-to-one businesses, including but not limited to tanning salons, tattoo and body piercing parlors, hair salons, barbershops, nail salons, massage parlors, and massage activities ancillary to another business unless prescribed by a professional health care provider are ordered closed. Religious and worship services may only be provided by video and teleconference. Religious institutions must limit in-person staff to 10 people or less when preparing for or conducting video or teleconference services. All individuals must follow the social distancing guidelines, including the 6-foot distance. All elective medical, surgical, and dental procedures are prohibited anywhere in Erath County hospitals, Ambulatory surgery centers, dental offices, and other medical facilities are directed to identify procedures that are deemed elective by assessing which procedures can be postponed or canceled based on patient risk, considering the emergency need for the redirection of resources to COVID-19 response. Child care services. Child care facilities may continue to operate under the following guidelines. Child's temperature must be checked upon entrance, and children with a temperature will not be allowed in. Temperature will be taken throughout the day in at least 90-minute intervals, and children will be sent home if the fever exists. Childcare must be carried out in groups of 10 or fewer each day. No interchanging of groups of children. If more than one group is at a facility, each group must be in a separate room with no mixing of the groups. Each provider must stay with only one group and not change groups. Questions up to that? Okay, number 9. This is put into place starting yesterday. We have 2 elected officials, our county judge being one, that are quarantined right now. This is in an effort for us to try to slow the spread. So we have, this is a declaration and a declaration, and it is all Erath County governmental buildings are ordered closed to the public. That doesn't mean we're quitting working. There's people still working in the courthouse, in the annex, in the tax office. You're still gonna get your license plates. You're still gonna be able to pay your taxes. You're still gonna be able to get your license plates in Dublin and do business over there. The numbers are posted on every one of the doors. You can call that number and visit with somebody from outside the door. This is our effort to try to stop the spread. This is the same as trying to keep people home. It's either send folks home or lock the doors to the general public. The courthouse is not closed, it's just locked to the general public. There's still access by phone to any office, and like I said, those numbers are posted on the doors. All Erath County government buildings are ordered closed to the public. Governmental offices and functions shall continue as directed by each elected office holder or department head. Contact information for all county offices are located on our county website, or like I said, they're posted on the doors of each building you're trying to get a hold of. Funeral services. Funeral homes, crematoriums, and cemeteries may operate, but no more than 10 non-employees may be present at the same time. Social distancing is required. Wedding services. Weddings may be held, but not more than 10 persons may be present at any one time. Social distancing is required. Questions, comments up to now? Number 12 is definitions. Essential activities. To engage in activities or perform tasks essential to their health and safety or to the health and safety of their family or household members. For example, obtaining medical supplies or medications, visiting a healthcare professional, or obtaining supplies needed to work from home. To obtain necessary service or supplies for themselves, their family, or household members, or to deliver those services or supplies to others, for example, food, pet supplies, or any other household consumer products and products necessary to maintain the safety, sanitation, and essential operation of residences. It is strongly recommended that households, to the greatest extent possible, send only one person to a business for the purpose of picking up food or other essential items. I think Walmart started this the other day, and I believe that is essential. I know the question's gonna come up, what do I do with my kids, but do you want to expose your kids to this? So I think this is a good practice. We've all seen it. They're still crowding up in the stores. The social distancing, it hasn't been working that well, but we're better than this. We can do better. To engage in outdoor activity, provided the individuals comply with social distancing requirements of 6 feet For example, walking, biking, hiking, or running. To perform work or travel to and from jobs, including construction or agriculture services, provided individuals comply with social distancing requirements of 6 feet. To care for a family member or pet, and I'll add livestock for another household. The essential businesses. Essential healthcare services, healthcare operations including hospitals, clinics, doctors, dentists, pharmacies, pharmaceutical, and biotechnology companies, other healthcare facilities, healthcare suppliers, home healthcare service providers, mental health providers, substance abuse providers, blood banks, medical research, and any other related or ancillary healthcare services. Veterinary care provided to animals, home-based care for seniors, adults, and children, residential facilities and shelters for seniors, adults, or children. Healthcare operations do not include elective medical, surgical, and dental procedures. Essential government functions. All services provided by local, state, and federal government needed to ensure the continuing operation of the governmental agencies to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the public. All essential government functions shall be performed in compliance with social distancing requirements of 6 feet to all the extent possible. Like I said earlier, the doors may be locked, but we're still working. And not just here. I think the sheriff's office, what have you got, 3 quarantined right now?
Yes, sir.
They're still working. You're probably gonna see sheriff coats on patrol, but they're still getting the basic code. We're still out there working for you. Essential critical infrastructure, work necessary to the operations and maintenance of the 16 critical infrastructure sectors as identified by the National Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, including public works, construction, residential and commercial construction, airport operations, water, sewer, gas, electrical, oil, refining, roads and highways, public transportation, and other transportation network companies and ride-sharing services that provide transportation services necessary for the performance of essential activities, essential businesses, essential infrastructure, and essential government function. Solid waste collection and removal, internet, telecommunication systems, financial institutions, defense and national security related operations, and essential manufacturing operations. Providers of basic necessities to economically disadvantaged populations. Social services and charitable organizations that provide food, shelter, and social services and other necessities of life for economically disadvantaged or otherwise needy individuals. And I'll throw that our county indigent is still open. The door is also locked, but there's a phone number, and if you will call needing indigent services, you will get the packet mailed to you. That process is going to keep going also. Essential services necessary to maintain residences or other essential businesses, trash and recycling collection, processing and disposal, mail and shipping services, building cleaning and maintenance, auto repair, warehouse distribution, and fulfillment and storage for essential businesses. Plumbers, pool services, security services, lawn services, electricians, exterminators, and other service providers who provide services that are necessary to maintaining the safety, sanitation, and essential operation of residences and essential businesses. Number 13 is grocery stores, supermarkets, warehouse stores, hospitals, and medical facilities are experiencing high levels of demand for a large number of products requiring more deliveries from the manufacturers and distribution centers to serve their customers. A number of Texas cities and local associations have implemented restrictions on delivery hours to stores to mitigate truck noise and traffic due to the need to deliver products as quickly as efficiently as possible. During this critical time frame, this order hereby suspends all delivery hour restrictions for transport to or from any entity involved in the selling or distribution of food products, medicine, or medical supplies in Eagle County. This change makes this effective for the duration of the timeline of this order. Due to increased demand for bath or toilet tissue resulting from stock-up buying and individuals who purchase resale, a mandatory limit on toilet paper sales is instituted until the supply chain meets the demands, or 2 weeks, whichever comes first. All sales of bath or toilet tissue occurring in Grant County are limited to the greater of 12 rolls per purchase or 1 package per purchase. Number 15, if someone in a household has tested positive for coronavirus, the household is ordered to isolate at home. Members of the household cannot go to work, school, or any other community function outside the home. Any person who is sick, experiencing common COVID-19 symptoms, including fever, cough, or shortness of breath, is hereby ordered to stay home and follow Center for Disease Control guidelines on how to discontinue this isolation. Nursing homes, retirement, and our long-term care facilities are instructed by this order to prohibit non-essential visitors from accessing their facilities unless to provide critical assistance or for end-of-life visitation. This order shall be effective immediately and go into effect at 11:59 on April 2nd. And I want to note again, this
12:01.
12:01, I'm sorry. 12:01, April the 2nd. This is to be in accordance with Governor Abbott's order. Number 18, Grant County must promptly provide copies of this order by posting on the county's website. In addition, the owner, manager, and operator of any facility that is likely to be impacted by this order is strongly encouraged to post a copy of this order on site and to provide a copy for any member of the public asking. Any subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or word in this order or any application of it to any person, structure, gathering, or circumstance is held to be invalid or unconstitutional by a decision of a court of competent jurisdiction. Then such decision will not affect the validity of the remaining portions or applications of this order. In accordance to the Texas Government Code 418.173, a person who knowingly or intentionally violates this declaration commits an offense, punishable by a fine of not less than $50 and not more than $2,000, or confinement in jail for a term that does not exceed 180 days. Any ordinance, order, or regulation that would prevent temporary sheltering and housing by the County of Erath, State of Texas, or federal government in response to the declared disaster are suspended or modified as necessary to make these regulations effective. Any ordinance or regulation imposing a time requirement for approving or denying an application or for appealing a county court or administrative decision is total. Any ordinances or regulations that conflict with these regulations are suspended or modified as necessary to make these regulations effective. Suspension or modification of the ordinances and regulations shall remain in effect until these regulations are terminated or until the state of disaster is terminated, whichever happens sooner. This declaration hereby authorizes the use of all lawfully available enforcement tools. This is declared on the first day of April 2020. Then we've got a page of social distancing recommendations. Susan's gone over those. Kobe's going to have them posted on our website today. I never would have thought it would have taken our government to tell us to wash our hands, but here we are today. Common sense is gone. So with that read and that said, I'll stress again, this does mirror the governor's declaration. The date is for 30 days. And I want to stress again, we're looking at this not only daily, but hourly. And, if we see the curve peak out before the 30 days, we're sure gonna look at this a whole lot closer. Our original intent, when we started looking at this yesterday, was 7 days. If we needed to extend or drop after 7 days, we would, but then we find out from legal help that we've got to abide by the governor's orders, which it states that every 30 days. So that's where we're at. Having read this, I would entertain a motion to approve the amendment to the declaration of public health emergency related to COVID-19.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Motion by Albert, second by D. Stevens. Any questions or discussions? All in favor? All opposed, with like sign? There are none. Declaration has passed. Agenda item number 2 is to consider, approve MOU and contracts with CSC and simple file necessary to begin e-filing land records on the county clerk's office in response to COVID-19 so that we can immediately start filing land records and close the office to in-person filing. Lisa, you want to talk to us about that?
Yes, there, we have 2 agreements. This will allow the clerk's office to start taking those documents by e-filing. Currently, the only way for somebody to file the land records is to come in person.
Closer to the microphone.
Sorry.
All right.
So in order to avoid having the public coming into the office and face-to-face contact and person-to-person contact, the clerk is asking for you to approve this on an emergency situation. Normally, it can wait it, and given our current public health state, she felt like it couldn't wait anymore. And so in order to close their office to the public, this needs to happen. This will allow the e-filing system for her to make credit card payments to do that.
Have you looked at the contract?
I have.
You did with it?
Yes, and this is the extension of what they already have in place for other e-filing situations. So it's not a new company or anything like that. These are people starting work.
I would entertain a motion to approve the MOU and contract with simple file and CSC. Motion by D. Stevens, second by Jim Buck. Any questions? All in favor? All opposed, or none? Passed. Okay, that's all we had on the agenda. Does anybody have any statements they want to make about agenda item number 1 before we cover?
We just, this is the last thing anybody wants to have put upon, we understand that. And being quarantined in your house is all but miserable, and I feel it at home. Every time I go home, my girls are climbing the walls. But it's what we've got to do for a little while to try to stop the bleeding, I think is how it was used the other day. We've had this in place for a week, and you can drive around town. Earlier last week, it was not near as crowded as it was yesterday and today. People are not adhering to this shelter in place, and it's not helping solve the issue. If everybody will just batten down for a little while and just try to stay home. And like you said, well, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. Send one person to the grocery store. Don't take your whole family, all your kids, and whatnot to the grocery store. Stay within 6 feet from somebody when you do go out in public. Just try to make an effort and just stay at home. If at all possible, stay at home. That's the biggest thing. I see any stress.
Howard, anything to say? Yeah.
Just backing up what he said, it's nothing we want. And we come in here fully prepared to go 7 days this morning, and Governor Abbott took that idea with us. So, all the guys sitting here, we look at this hourly, daily, and we're gonna keep looking at it. And if things drastically change in the county, we're gonna be on the phone, calling Austin, and trying to get something that looks better than it does right now. But, as of right now, our hands are tied. So, we have we have to go with all the governor is put out, and we have no choice, but, you think we're not gonna fight for you if this thing changes in the next week, or next day, or next 2 days, or the next 14 days, we're gonna fight. And we want our county open and going, but we also have to straighten this out. The curve's not in our favor right now in that county, so y'all all get on board. Let's stay home, let's stop this thing. And we can do it in a hurry, but you can't go to the grocery store with 4 or 5 people touching different things and trying to round them up and go back home. You're a whole lot safer if just one person goes for 2 families and we got to cut this spread down, and that's the only way to do it. Thank you.
I think that a good number would be 9, either 9 or 10 elected officials, first responders, and law enforcement that are actually quarantined right now. If we don't do better as a county, we're not gonna have anybody left. We've got to stop this thing, and I guess we're down to a plea now. Stay home. You can find something on TV or turn it off, go sit out in the yard. This is a time for families. I know that's a strain, that's a burden on everybody, but it's gonna take us to stop it, not the 4 of us. It's gonna take you folks to stop this thing. It's gonna take everybody working hard to get this thing stopped, or it's just gonna keep going. But the faster we can all shelter in place or stay home, the faster we can see the other side of this. And there is an other side. It's just how quick we're gonna get there. There's all kinds of, and I'll repeat myself, there's all kinds of theories, there's all kinds of dates about when this is gonna peak. But I want us to beat that. I want Erath County to be better. But we've all got to do it. We've all got to, it's easy as it is every day to drive back into town, go get a blizzard, or just go drive around. Those days are past for a while. We've got to stay away from everybody. Let's just try to get this better. No other statements or comments? I would entertain. Jim Buck makes a motion to adjourn. Albert Ray seconds. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Sign that.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna go down and put together what changes were made